And good morning, it's Mike Ferry again with you for Mike Ferry TV. It is Monday. Okay, we know that the biggest challenge real estate people face, the biggest challenge, and there's 100 great challenges you face, is the ability to manage your time. And I thought, here we are, the first part of August. What a good time to spend some time with you on time management, because most of us have had a little relaxation time over the course of June, July, August, hopefully some time off with your families, maybe a vacation, etc., etc. And now, of course, with September coming, we got to get back into the work mindset that is so critical, because what happens in September, October, November determines your cash flow in January and February. Now think about that. The activities, what you do, September, October, November determines your income, cash flow for January, February, March. Well, if I want to make sure I get off to a fast start in terms of 2017, I have to have a strong finish to 2016. How do I do that? I set up a schedule in August. Here we are, August. Set up a strong schedule in August that'll start to pay off in September, October, November, December, which it always does for a person like yourself, which then creates all the income flow the first of the year. So instead of having the first of the year as a difficult time, the first of the year is a very profitable, productive time. So I want to go through a couple thoughts on time management to get you back into that mindset. I wrote down this first. Did you pick real estate as a career to have freedom from time management? If the answer is yes, you're going to have a very difficult time building a great career in the real estate business. It just doesn't work. You know, I say to agents all the time, why did you pick real estate? Freedom. I said, what? Freedom from what? Income? Is that what you're trying to get away from? Because if you're trying to figure out a way to make a lot of money without working, without having a schedule, without being disciplined, without having accountability in your life, you're going to have a hard time succeeding at the level you want to succeed at. I wrote down a second thought, okay? Start committing now to being on time for everything you do, every time with no exceptions. Biggest complaint we know that the world has about real estate, they're never on time. If you go to our seminars, and a lot of you do, if it's a 9 o'clock start, at 9 o'clock we start. If it's supposed to end at 4 o'clock, at 4 o'clock we end. If the break's at 10:15, at 10:15 I take the break. If lunch is from 12 to 1:30, 12 o'clock I stop, 1:30 I start. See, I commit to being on time every time, no exceptions. And if there's nobody in the room, I still start. Why? Because we have to always be very, very, very strong in our approach to those that are on time to satisfy their needs. Hey, your sellers are waiting for you to show up for a listing appointment. And the longer they wait, the more stressed they become. And they can't figure out why you'd be late if you have a 7:30, 6 o'clock appointment, etc. And it's because you're not paying attention to your schedule. Commit to being on time every time, no exceptions. Then I wrote down next thought for you. There's 260 approximate work days in a given year. Subtract your vacations, time at MFO seminars, flake time, because we all have some flake time. Then actually I want you to write down now, in 2017, I'm going to work blank number of days. How many days are you really going to work in 2017? Let's plan it today, okay? But Mike, it's only the first part of August. Why would I plan 2017 now? Because 2017 is going to happen, period. And 2017 is going to start in about an hour, because that's how fast time flies. So plan the number of days, then you can set up the schedule and you can look at how much prospecting, how much lead follow-up, how many presentations. You can plan everything down to the minute if you choose to commit to being on time every time. But then I wrote down next, whatever you're going to do for August, September, October, November, December, create a strong morning routine for yourself. You got to create a routine that really gets you up, gets you lifted, gets you excited, gets you enthused, gets you motivated to go do your job. I saw a competitor who published a morning routine, and I, quite honestly, I actually laughed out loud when I read it. It was a joke. You know, relax and get your day started when you're comfortable and spend some time thinking about what, get your butt to work at a certain time, do your job, follow your schedule. This isn't a game. Have a strong, productive morning schedule, because when you do that, it carries through to the afternoon every time. I wrote down next, determine what are the top 3 things you have to do every day. And do you have time set aside to do all three? See, for example, I believe the top three things are spend some time generating leads, spend some time following up on your leads, which is important all the time, and then pre-qualifying any appointments that you have. You need to do those every day. Now, in addition, going on presentations. But let's look at what are your top three things you have to do every day. A, are you doing them? B, do you have a schedule set up so you can get them done? When you open your planner in the morning, do you have a time set aside to do these types of things? I wrote down next, remember the morning is for getting business. The afternoon is for doing business. What does that mean? I'm going to spend the morning talking to people to generate the leads, to set up the appointments to do business in the afternoon. It is rare, it happens sometimes, that you'll have a listing appointment between 9 and noon. It's pretty rare. Your listing appointments will be more from 2 o'clock on. Okay, watch. Your morning is for getting business, afternoon for doing business. And then I wrote down next, think of your day as two totally different jobs. Your boss on your morning job, listen carefully, does not allow you to work on activities that are part of your afternoon job. The jobs do not overlap. Okay, your boss on your morning job, generate leads, do good lead follow-up. Let's set appointments. Afternoon job, prepare for appointments, go on appointments. Two different jobs. It's two different mindsets and two different schedules. And then I wrote down, if you really want to manage your time, set up several strong forms of accountability for yourself. Strong accountability. Whether you have 2 or 3 accountability partners in the office or the relationship with your manager broker or outside accountability through a coach like ourselves, or you've met people that you call and you hold accountable, the stronger the accountability, the higher the production in every case. And then I wrote down next, part of the discipline of time management, going to bed at the same time every night, getting up at the same time every morning, beginning your work at the same time every day, ending at the same time every day. Repetitious boredom is what makes a great salesperson great. Repetitious boredom. Do you understand it? Have you bought into it? Have you made it part of your life? Doing your job from 7, 8 o'clock in the morning till 4, 5, 6 in the afternoon, the same way every day, gets boring after a while. But that's how you make the big bucks. That's how you get paid a lot of money. Then, of course, I wrote down next, remember, following your schedule is like any other habit that you have. It is a habit. The more you follow the schedule, the easier it becomes to follow the schedule. It's like riding a bike. Once you learn how to ride a bike, you never forget how. Oh yeah, you haven't been on a bike in 20 years, a little wobbly, and you're not sure of yourself, but you can ride the bike. If you will develop the habit of managing that schedule each day, the repetitious boredom will work in your favor. I wrote down next, look carefully at what doesn't work in your schedule and why it doesn't work. But don't allow the getting business to be part of what doesn't work. That has to work in every person's schedule. And then the last thing I wrote down is create a perfect day. Write out a perfect day. What does it look like? What do you do all day long on a perfect day? And then work to actually do that at least 3 days out of every 5 you work. Do you realize what's going to happen to your productivity in August, September, October, November, and December? It's going to skyrocket every single time. Okay, now don't forget, here we are in August. And in October, mid-October, Fort Lauderdale, Superstar Retreat coming up again. For those that weren't able to come to Las Vegas, get on the phone, call my office, buy a ticket, get registered. If you're a coaching client, you know what you have to do. Let's get you at that retreat. It's too important an event to not have you there. In the meantime, I'll look forward to talking to you next Monday. Have some fun this week.